to Boxing Talk Nightly. The first thing I want to discuss is this is a long awaiting matchup that should have happened. What? Let me see. This fight probably should have happened 5, 6 years ago. Gamboa versus Juan Manuel Marquez. This is a fight that people wanted to see, like I said, about 6, 7 years ago. Both of these guys are undefeated. They were coming up through the ranks. They were, very exciting fighters. Gamboa with his speed, reminding people. I ain't gonna talk about his foot speed wise, but he kind of reminded people of a little Mike Tyson. He was knocking guys out, getting rid of guys, and Cuban style fighter. I think he was a double gold medalist. I know he won a gold medal. I think he was a double gold medalist, but Gamboa was a terrific fighter, man. I always wanted to see him. I knew he was probably going to be, behind Manny Pacquiao. That he was not going to be able to fight Manny Pacquiao. But I thought at one point, I'm like, man, this would be a great fight between him and Manny Pacquiao. But I think at the time Gamboa kind of blew up. I think Manny Pacquiao was already probably at 135, somewhere up in there. I think Pacquiao was at 135, about to go fight, getting ready to go fight probably Alcide De La Hoya. So, but I wanted to see that fight, man. I was like, man, this would be a great fight between these two dudes, man. A lot of action. They both get hit. They both throw a lot of punches. They're both very busy, very quick, twitch muscles, fast hand speed. Gamboa was an animal, though, when I first started seeing Gamboa. Gamboa was an animal, man. And I don't know what kind of messed Gamboa up was just being, not active enough. And then when he signed, see, Gamboa was supposed to fight Mikey Garcia back in the day. I don't know if people realize that he was supposed to fight Mikey Garcia back in the day, and that fight fell off. It fell through. You know what I'm saying? Then a little bit after that, Mikey Garcia got in, legal battle with Bob Arum, and Mikey Garcia didn't fight for like 2.5 years. But that fight fell through. I don't know what happened. I can't begin to tell you what happened. Is some contract issue or something like that. And then the word going around that Mikey Garcia really didn't want to fight, and Gamboa wanted to fight, and Bob Arum wanted Mikey Garcia to fight Gamboa. I think that was the beginning of the problems with Bob Arum top rank and Mikey Garcia was Bob Arum wanted him to fight Gamboa, and I guess he didn't want to fight Gamboa. I don't know, but Juan Marquez, Juan Manuel, uh, he just he was a great fighter, man. He was an exciting fighter, and I remember Bob Arum kept on telling people that he was going to uh, marinate. You know what I'm saying? He was going to marinate the fight. He kept on saying, "No, the fight shouldn't happen right now. It's about a year away, 2 years away." And I remember people kept on saying, kept saying in my mind, see, boxing is not. You can't really do that with boxing because anything can happen in boxing. They can throw off a big fight just like that. A big fight can be thrown off like quick. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with a big fight. If to me, in my opinion, when it's time to make a big fight, you should go ahead and make the big fight. You should. There's no way you should be waiting to make the big fight because you never know what's going to happen, man. And what happened was Orlando Salido, fought Juan Manuel, and they had a classic, all out, just going at it, man. And I mean, he was doing good in the first fight. Actually, he came out, doing very well, and then all of a sudden, Salido happened. Salido was a tough veteran, man, that comes to fight, that gives a lot of top fighters. He beat some fighters and gives a lot of top. The only guy to beat Lomachenko. So, we that tells you how Salido, he does have fighting skills. He can't handle himself up in there. He's just a fighter that always have to fight under all the other fighters' stipulations. You know what I'm saying? He's always have to fight a fighter in his hometown. He's never the house fighter, and he has to get some upsets, and he upset it Juanma, and when he was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? He upsetted him, so then they end up fighting. They end up fighting again in the second fight. The first fight was brutal. You know what I'm saying? The first fight was a brutal fight. And no. Juanma won. Yeah, yeah. Manuel, he won the first fight. Yeah, he won the first fight, unanimous decision. That was a great. It was a great fight, but it took a lot out of Juanma because he took a lot of big punches, man. And then they fought again. Like 2 years later from the first fight, they fought like what 2 years later. Hold on, they fought in 2004, and then they end up fighting again in. No, my fault. Hold on 1 minute. No, hold on. I think I'm looking at the wrong fighter. My fault. I'm looking at the wrong fighter. He did beat Wamel Lopez. I was looking at what's the name, the other Marquez brother. Sorry, but yeah, he did beat him, and he beat him when he was undefeated. Great fight, but it took a lot out of both guys. But more so, it took a lot out of Juan Manuel Lopez. It took a lot out of him. He took a lot of big punches, man. Dropped a lot of times, and then ended up getting TKO'd in the eighth round. Then they end up fighting a rematch, and really the same thing happened. Lopez, he came out, he out in both of the fights. He came out controlling the fight, really. And then it's just something about Salido. Salido gets stronger as the fight go on. He did the same thing with Mikey Garcia. I know Mikey Garcia suffered a broken nose due to a headbutt, I believe, by Salido. I don't think it was an accidental headbutt, but it was not like an intentional headbutt. It ain't like he was. It's not like he headbutted him with malice. But Mikey Garcia, he didn't. He couldn't continue, so he won by a disqualification or something like that. But Salido was coming on in that fight. I would have loved to see the back half of that fight and see how Mikey Garcia would have done in the later stages of that fight because Salido was coming on. And Salido, he beat Juanma Lopez again, and that just threw off the Gamboa fight. And Salido Salido did fight Gamboa, but Gamboa was able to beat him by unanimous decision. Gamboa handled him pretty good. Gamboa handled Salido pretty good. Salido didn't really do a whole lot against Gamboa. Gamboa was just too fast, too quick. Lopez, he had some hand speed, but he liked to stand in front of you and fight. You know what I'm saying? He had some boxing skills, but he liked to stand in front of you and fight. And one thing, Crawford beats Mikey at 140. Yeah, I believe Crawford will beat Mikey at 140. But Salido, he comes in there and he gives you a great fight, man. So really back then, if you put your top fighter in with Salido, man, it was a gamble. It was a gamble. But if you're a top fighter like Gamboa, when Gamboa went in there, he handled Salido pretty good. So it showed people that Gamboa, was ready for the next stage. But these guys fighting right now, Gamboa has more left than Juan Manuel Lopez, I believe. So in this matchup, I would have to pick Gamboa because Juan Manuel, man, he's been through a lot of wars. Like, I can't even believe the dude is still fighting. I know he won his last fight, got into it with the trainer of the guy that he was fighting, and I believe him and the trainer had like a little boxing match. Man, I'm gonna look that up. Some people said him and the trainer ended up having a little boxing match. The trainer landed a three-piece on Juan Manuel and shook him up a little bit. it was crazy. It was crazy, man. But yeah, this fight is long overdue. See, this is a prime example. This is one of the many prime examples in boxing why you cannot hold a fight back. That's why it's not good to build up a fight, because anything can happen. I understand the promoters trying to get the most money they can get in the fight, trying to build it up, but it's a huge gamble, man. This is prize fighting, man. You can't predict what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Wilder versus Joshua fight. That's why I was hoping that fight, happened sooner than later. That's why I'm hoping the Terrence Crawford versus Spence fight happens sooner than later. All these fights, all these potential big fights, because you never know, man. You can't hold on to these fights because anything can happen. And case in point, that Gamboa, if we would have seen Gamboa versus Lopez when they were in their prime, they both was undefeated. I believe it would have been a great fight, man. It would have been a great, great, great fight, man. But we didn't get it. We didn't get it. But yeah, man, I'm going to tune into that fight. Cause it's it's gonna be a because both of them have slow. Both of them are on the backside of their career. So we might get a barn burner. I believe we will get a barn burner because now Gamboa, as Gamboa start moving up in weight, he doesn't move as well like he used to at angles and give fighters angles. He doesn't move like he did when he first came out at what I believe 122, 126 up in there. So he doesn't he fights more. You know what I'm saying? We seen the Terrence Crawford fight when he was he was fighting Terrence Crawford. Just on the wrong side of the stick on that fight. Man, what's up, Hype Low? I'm talking about Gamboa and Juan Manuel Lopez finna finally fight. You know how I feel about that, man. Bob Arum messed that fight up back in the day, man. That fight should have happened. Bob Arum trying to build so called build a fight up. Yeah, it has it. I seen it on boxing that they supposed to fight each other. I was surprised to see. I see. No, let me go back on. Let me go back on there. Yeah, I know, man. That dude got some brain damage. That man, that Salido fight, them two Salido fights to me messed that man up. Those two Salido fights were brutal. Those are some brutal fights, man. He went through a lot of. I wouldn't be surprised if he got brain damage, but they still letting them fight for some reason. It has it right here. It says Yorkis Gamboa in the hold on. It says in the redemption in Miami main event former four-time world champion and three-time weight division Olympic gold medalist Yorkis Gamboa will battle two-time world title challenger Miguel, whatever his name is. Oh, okay. Okay. He's facing somebody else in a 10-round fight. And the co. Oh, okay. They fighting different people. Okay, so why would they have it in the description that they fighting each other? In the future, former three-time world champion in two weight classes will clash with Christian and also in 10 rounds. So I guess they're gonna fight on the same card, and then if they both win, they probably gonna end up fighting each other. I mean, I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, the description was a little bit misleading, man. It said that they was gonna fight, so I guess they're not gonna fight. They are fighting different people on the same card. So if they win, I guess they're gonna fight each other. Should go ahead and leave it. Yeah, yeah, man. He should go ahead and leave it alone, man. He should go ahead and leave it alone because I don't know, man. Some fighters just can't get away from it, man. Hype low. Some fighters they fight too long. They fight too many fights. Too many fights, and they're never the same, man. Never the same. But I guess Dillian White may be facing maybe hold on. Dillian White may be having a rematch. Let me see. Not Joshua, but his former domestic rival Derek Chisora. So I mean, the first fight was a great fight though. The first fight was a real good fight. I gave it to Dillian White. Some people said they thought Derek won. I thought Dillian White won. He was just he was more busier and he showed that he had more energy down the stretch. He you know what I'm saying he won those rounds down the stretch. I thought Dillian White won that fight. But yeah, that was a great fight, man. The second fight should be real good. I mean, depending on if Dillian White try to fight a different fight, because in the first fight, Dillian White, he traded punches with Derek Chisora. So I don't know if he's gonna fight the same fight. This fight, he may fight with the Anthony Joshua fight on the horizon. If Anthony Joshua beat Povetkin, Dillian White may go in there in a Chris. I mean, not the Chris, but the Derek Chisora fight and fight a safe fight. He may try to box Derek more in this fight, seeing that um, him versus you know Anthony Joshua may be around the corner. You might see him fight a different fight, but first fight was great, man. It was a really, really, really good fight, man. Real Derek Chisora is a crazy dude, man. But he gives you really good fights, man. He's never in a boring fight. Either he's battling with you toe to toe, head to head, or he's on the other side of on the other side of the stick, but he's still giving a great fight. So he comes to fight, man. I can tell you that. Um, I was looking at this Wilder versus Fury. They said the undercard Santa Cruz may face Gary Russell Jr. and Davis may face Abner Mares. Tank Davis may fight Abner Mares. Two interesting fights. I mean, Santa Cruz versus Russell. That's a really good fight. I mean, I like Russell, but Russell he doesn't fight enough. In the last 5 years, the man hasn't fought that much. I'm gonna be. I mean, he was a hot prospect when he first came out. Then he fought Lomachenko, lost against Lomachenko in a one-sided fight. I mean, he came out of the fight and said that he didn't have any energy. That the first time ever that he used a strength and conditioning coach for the fight, he don't think that training went well. But I don't, man. You can't look outside of people seeing you in the ring and your leg break a snap or something like that. You can't have no excuses, man. I mean, you prepared the way you prepared, and it is what it is. Lomachenko was just a better fighter that day, and that's what it is. But him and Santa Cruz, that should be a really good fight. Russell career has gone slowly, yeah, and has been disappointing, not unlike Andrade, but worse. Yeah, him and you know what? Him and Andrade, I remember making a video about both of them. They both, to me, they're both equal in their time out of the ring. They both have some. I mean, they both have weird careers, man. That it's like it's not panning out, and will it ever pan out? Because how old is Demetrius Andrade? Got to be about close to 30 now. Gary Russell Jr. has to be close to 30 now. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not too late if they fight the right fights. You know what I'm saying? From now on, if they fight really good fights, I mean, they can't be affording. They can't. They both of them fighters cannot afford to fight less opponents. I mean, you know what I'm saying? By both of them being not being active, they can't afford to take any tune-up type fights. They have to be in top notch fights from here on out if they want to salvage their career. I mean, Andrade is fighting Billy Joe Saunders. That's a good fight. That's gonna be a clash in styles because Andrade likes to box too. He likes to box, and Saunders like to box. So I don't know who's gonna make who take the lead in that fight because they both like to box. I mean, I like Andrade jab. I believe he has the better jab. So he may be the one to take the lead, seeing that he does have the better jab between both of them. He's longer. I believe he's tall. Yeah, he's taller. He's taller, so he may take the lead. Seeing that he got a real good jab. But yeah, Gary Russell Jr. His career has been a disappointment, man. It's been a disappointment, and that Lomachenko fight did not. It didn't help. You know what I'm saying? It hurt him that it was a one-sided fight. It wasn't even close. If he lost a close competitive fight, it would have been better for him. But the fact of the matter is that he really got outclassed. I hate saying that, but I hate saying that another really good fighter got outclassed by another really good fighter, but it is what it is. He got outclassed. I would pick Andrade if he had been fighting more and fighting good opponents, but Andrade has been out for years now. He hasn't done. Yeah, that's gonna be. It's. I would say Saunders does have an edge, being that he has been active on talent. Andrade on experience. Billy. Yeah, on talent, Andrade, but sometimes talent is not enough. Sometimes talent, when talent don't work hard, talent can get beat. Talent can get embarrassed if talent don't work hard. Now you can win based on your talents alone, but you know what I'm saying. That's a gamble. And Billy Joe has been active, fighting, and Andrade, he fight once every couple years and all this crap. And the thing about it is, Andrade, he doesn't miss time due to injury. He always miss time due to him not wanting to fight or him having promotional problems. I know he had promotional problems for a while. I always said talent and $1.50 will get you a bus ride. Talent and $1.50 will give you a bus ride. But Tank Davis and Abdul Mares, that's gonna be an interesting fight. Abdul Mares is the veteran. Tank Davis is the young guy. See, I believe Tank Davis is coming in this fight, too confident. Because Abdul Mares can fight, and Abdul Mares will foul you. You know what I mean? He will foul you. We see him foul people in the past, but Abdul Mares, he can box, he can bang, but I don't think it's probably in Mares' best interest to bang with Davis. I mean, if Tank Davis come in shape like he's supposed to, if he don't have no problems making weight, that man walking around 2 weeks ago at the Sean Porter, Danny Garcia fight, looking big, looking big, just like he been eating everything that he sees. But yeah, Tank is a really good. Yeah. Tank is a good fighter. It's just that Tank, I don't know where his mind be sometimes, man. And when fighters, when they start having these mental issues, man, and these mental laps, it's hard for me to pick them. But I'm gonna say, based on based on experience, you got to say Abdul Mares. If you want to say a talented fighter, you got to say Davis. So you got to kind of weigh that. You know what I mean? Abdul Mares clearly has been in the ring with better fighters. Tank Davis said that he was complaining about Floyd Mayweather and them rushing him to fight Prajad. What his name? What's that guy name? Prajadra. When he won his first world title, he said Floyd Mayweather rushed him to fight that fight, and if he thought that fight was gonna be something, I mean, Mares is better than that guy. But Mares doesn't have he doesn't have really good power. He has okay power. He doesn't have good. You know what I'm saying? And I believe either you have to be able to box real good, or you got to have some power, man, to keep taking Davis off of you. Eventually, the party will catch up with you, Davis, as Ricky hadn't. But I do not like Mares either. Ever since he set the record for nut. Yeah. Adam Mares set the record for nut shots, and I can't believe the referee let him get away with that, man. How can a referee let him get away with that? I mean, he hit that man in his, he hit, what was that guy named, man? Becko? Or whatever his name was. He hit him low like 20 times, man. Beat the mess of that dude nuts. He knocked his nuts out. You know what I'm saying? He beat his nuts, not beat him. But after a while, man, you got to hit a guy back in his nuts, man. A guy hit you in the nuts one time, okay. Second time, third time, look, I got to hit you in your nuts back, man. We can't, I can't just let you just keep on hitting me in the nuts, man. Got to jump. Good stuff. All right, man. All right. Yeah, but that's an interesting fight, man. I have to go with Tank Davis. In the Santa Cruz Russell fight, that fight is more close. That's a closer fight to me. I have to break that fight down in my mind. So I mean, I'm moving towards Russell, but Santa Cruz is long. He can box. Got a really good chin. I don't know about that fight. You have to break that fight down, man. But if that's on the undercard of that Fury Wilder fight. It's a pretty decent undercard. It's a pretty good undercard, man. Uh, Let me see. What else going on, man? I know Eddie Hearn out here saying he has to know if Wilder wants to fight and all this stuff, man. They need to they need to go ahead and if Wilder beat Fury and if Joshua beat Povetkin, they just need to get that fight on, man. Don't mess around. One of those guys gonna lose and lose bad, and that fight is not gonna be as profitable as it will be right now. That fight is very profitable right now, like right now, and I don't understand why they can't just make the fight, man. I don't understand how they can't get in the room with their representatives on each side and just make the fight, man. You get some of what you want. Wilder get some of what he want. Joshua get some of what he want, and make the fight. Instead of all this grandstanding and all this, I offer this, he want to take that, and look, man, just get the fight done, man. Just get the fight done. Fight. If it's a great fight, do it again. They both scared to lose. I mean, look, that could be the case, man. I'm not putting anything past these fighters nowadays, man. You got to go out to greatness, man. You have to go out. You know what I'm saying? And Amir Khan telling Anthony Joshua has to go to America for legacy. You know, a lot of Joe Calzaghe came here at the end of his career. It was the end of Joe Calzaghe's career when he came here to fight Hopkins and Roy Jones. Um, Lennox Lewis came here, but Lennox Lewis came here in his prime. So, do Anthony Joshua has to come here for legacy? He sort of has to. You know what I'm saying? If he come here, do his thing here, you know what I'm saying? Right or wrong, America, you know, with our approval, you usually become a legend with our approval. Fake what? But you usually become, a legend with America's approval. I mean, I'm not saying we should be the end all be all in giving a fighter approval, but Amir Khan came here in his prime, did his thing. So it's only right that it's only right that Anthony Joshua come here and try to do his thing here. But that's remained to be seen, man. That he Eddie Hearn has set up camp in the UK, and you know he figured he's going to make a lot of money with Anthony Joshua. So what I'm saying. I don't know if Anthony Joshua. I believe Anthony Joshua will come here eventually. Now, should his first fight be against Wilder? It'd be a good look if his first fight was against Wilder in the U.S. Just imagine if Joshua come to the U.S. and his first fight in the, what I'm saying, of prominence in the U.S. fighting a really, really, well, fighting the best, American heavyweight, and if he managed to beat Wilder on U.S. soil, man, he could be he can catapult to superstar because he'll have both markets. He had a UK market and American market, but we have to wait and see, man. I guess they may make us wait another year for that fight, but like I told people, just like the Gamboa versus Juan Manuel Lopez fight, and countless of other fights, man. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson was supposed to fight Holyfield way before he went to jail. He ended up hurting. I think Mike Tyson hurt his shoulder or something. Had some type of injury or got a cut on his eye. And then when he came back, he fought Buster Douglas, and we all know what happened. So you cannot try to marinate fights, man. You have to get those fights while they're hot. Get them while the stove is hot. Well, Abel Sanchez, he's mad about he said that the judges gave the fight to the house fighter, but Sanchez is the one that came out and said that they picked the judges this time. Abel Sanchez said, "We're not gonna blame the judges because we picked the judges this time." Okay, if you pick the judges, what gripe do you have? I mean, like I said, I thought Triple G won the fight, but Canelo could you can if somebody gave it to Canelo, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue about it. But you can't call Canelo. Well, Canelo is the house fighter. You know what I'm saying? His name is on the marquee. He's the house fighter. Usually, when you have a young fighter fighting an older fighter, if it's a great fight, and the younger fighter is the marketable name, making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They usually gonna give it to the young guy. That's just how it is, man. That's how boxing has always been. Golovkin had to knock Canelo out to win that fight. He had to knock him out. GGG sold out for the money. There was no way he was going to win versus the. Yeah, yeah. I mean, did he sell out for the money? I mean, I'm pretty sure he wanted the payday. I can't say he sold out for the money, but did he want the payday? Of course he wanted the payday. He got two good paydays, and he got a draw, and he got a loss. I thought he won both fights, but who am I to who am I to change the opinion? I'm not here to change someone's opinion. And if somebody pick Canelo, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go over, what I'm saying, round by round and parse all the rounds, punches by punches, and I'm not gonna do that. I just thought Triple G won the fight at least by a couple rounds, maybe three. I think he got like 30 million plus a pay per view percent. Okay, hey, he made some good money. You know what I'm saying? He made some good money. If he made 30 million plus pay per view and got a loss, it's worth it. You know what I mean? It's worth it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Now, when they fight a third time, they talking about Canelo fighting David Lemieux now. So they may wait. They may make Canelo. I mean, they may make Triple G wait another year because Triple G will be another year older. You know what I'm saying? Triple G is on the wrong side of 30. He's 36 years old, right? So 37, going on 38. Canelo is only 28, going on 29. Canelo's been boxing for a long time, man. This man ain't even 30 years old yet. Every time you look up, you like, man, Canelo is still in his 20s. It seems like he's been in his 20s for a long time. But yeah, he started when he was what? I think Canelo started when he was like 16 or 15. Well, in Mexico, you can't turn pro in the U.S. until 18, right? I believe it's 18. If it changed, then I don't know about the change. But last time I checked, you couldn't turn years old. In Mexico, you can turn pro at 15. I think Chavez Senior turned pro at 15. That's why he had all those fights. He didn't have a long amateur career. He had a lot of fights. He had a lot of fights early. I think when Chavez Senior was 27, he had already had almost 70 fights. Was he? I think he was 66-0 when he fought Major Taylor. Let me look that up, man. I believe he was 66-0 when he fought Major Taylor, and Major Taylor was 27 and something, 27 and something, 28-0. Let me see, man. See how old he was. But yeah, man. I don't know why Abel says that you can't be surprised, man. You had to go like I I don't mind Triple G using his jab the way he did, and I seen what the game plan was. The game plan was to make you know Canelo lead because Canelo is a natural counter puncher, and they thought they was going to throw Canelo by making him lead. But Triple G has to understand that at some point during that fight, you had to start going forward. Now, if he would have used that game plan that he used for the first half of the fight, I'd be like, okay. But as the rounds start going on, because I was like, okay, this is a good. good start for Triple G using his jab. He establishing his jab. Okay, that's cool. But by round 3 and 4, I'm like, why is he not moving forward? Don't he understand that Canelo is the house fighter, and you have to practically knock him out or destroy him to win a fight? Because if it's close, you gave him a reason to get a fight to Canelo. You have to remember, Canelo was the same fighter that had a draw on the Mayweather card, and that fight wasn't even close. I thought I'm still trying to figure out that Canelo even went around in that fight. I think I struggled to give him 2 rounds. I think I struggled to give him 2 rounds in that fight. I probably gave him those 2 rounds because he did better in those 2 rounds than he did in any other rounds. He's the same fighter. When any fighter that's seen when Canelo fought Floyd and seen that he had a draw on Floyd Mayweather's on that fight between him and Floyd Mayweather, all of y'all that got in the ring with him know from that point on you have to knock him out to beat him. Period. You have to knock him out to beat him. You're not going to beat him otherwise. That draw showed you that you're not going to be. If Canelo would have did any more, if Canelo just would have been comparable in that fight, if he just would have just put in more effort in that Mayweather fight and landed more punches, they were ready to give Canelo that fight. Boxing was ready to make Canelo the next big thing. He just was so bad that you just couldn't give him the fight. He was so bad in that fight, you could not really give him the fight. But they were looking for a reason to give Canelo that fight. And Triple G and Abel Sanchez, I understand you want to establish the jab, but man, you got to go forward, man. At some point, you have to go forward. Yeah, Major Taylor was 32-0, and let me see, how old was Chavez Sr.? He was 68-0. Chavez Sr. was 68-0 at 26, 27 years old. So that man had a lot of fights. I think Canelo right now, Canelo got like 50 fights. Canelo's 28, and he still got 18 fights less than Chavez Sr. Let me see, man. Let me see. Canelo Alvarez, he has 50 fights already, man. This man got 50 fights. Lone loss to Floyd Mayweather, which he's still he just can't get the fact that he lost to Mayweather, and that was supposed to have been his shot to catapult the superstar. I don't think he can make it now. I don't think he can make it. They've been trying to regroup since the Floyd Mayweather fight. But this man, Canelo got one of the best active resumes in boxing, man. Canelo been in the ring with Golovkin twice. Well, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay. He been there with Liam Smith. Liam Smith was a good domestic fighter, undefeated. He was in there with Amir Khan. He was in there with Miguel Cotto. He fought James Kirkland. He fought Laura. He fought Alfredo Angulo. He fought Floyd Mayweather, we all know. He fought Alson Trout, Jose Cito Lopez, Shane Mosley, Kermit Cintron, Alfonso Gomez, the guy from the Contender. Pretty decent, journeyman. He's been in there with some Carlos Baldomir. He's been in there with some good fighters, man. He got one of the best resumes, active resumes. Besides, Manny Pacquiao, of course, and who else got a really good? Oh, Danny Garcia got a pretty good resume too. Danny Garcia been in there with some people. So, and you know what I'm saying? It's some iffy fights on here that Canelo got some iffy fights on here. That Laura fight, I picked Canelo to win the Laura fight. I thought Laura won the fight. And I already talked about that Floyd Mayweather fight where he had a draw on one of the scorecards. That Austin Trout fight, the reason why I did give him the Austin Trout fight, he did knock Austin Trout down. That was an open scoring fight. And I remember them saying the open scoring in the fight. And they had Canelo winning by 5 rounds. They had Canelo winning by 5 rounds. He did fight Shane Mosley, won that comprehensive. He fought Carmen Centron. Yeah, he knocked him out. But yeah, he had some in those two Golovkin fights, man. Those two Golovkin fights, that Laura fight and that draw on that Mayweather card, man. He just had some iffy score. Like if Canelo didn't have iffy scorecards on some fights, then I wouldn't be so. Let me see. I wouldn't be so much on him about close fights if he didn't have those iffy scorecards in the past. The fact that he had those iffy scorecards, man, it raises an eyebrow. Like, can you really beat this man unless you beat him like Mayweather did? That he wins virtually no rounds, and everybody can see that he won virtually no rounds, and you barely get hit. You know what I'm saying? Or you knock him out. Those are the only two ways you're gonna beat Canelo. If you fight Canelo and you're undefeated, you're a pretty good fighter. You about to give up your O for a payday. You finna sell your O. And if you don't knock the man out, your O is about to be sold. And that's what it is, man. And that's what Canelo, Oscar in his, some people say Oscar in his career had some iffy scorecards. Now, the only fight I can say Oscar had iffy scorecards was the Pernell Whitaker fight. I thought Pernell Whitaker won that fight, and I think that De La Hoya thought he lost that fight because you can see his face after the fight. A fighter, you can see in his face when you see disappointment. You can see in Canelo's face that he didn't really know he won that fight when until they announced that he won, and you know what I'm saying. He got all, you know what I'm saying, overly happy about it, but De La Hoya looked disappointing after the Whitaker fight. And that's the only fight. A lot of people, some people say that well, I'm gonna say the fight that he was on the wrong end of the stick was that he won, and it was a controversial scorecard. That was a Phoenix Trinidad fight. I thought Oscar won that Phoenix Trinidad fight. I'm gonna still say it. I'm gonna still say that man won that Trinidad fight. Let me see. Oscar. Let me see. Because the only fight I can remember that was iffy scorecards was the Whitaker fight, the Pernell Whitaker fight. But a lot of people say that. Let me see. And another fight that Oscar was on the wrong end of a bad scorecard. I thought he won the Shane Mosley fight. I actually thought he won both of the Shane Mosley fights. I thought they was really good fights. I thought the first one was, what's up, man? What's up, man? Unbiased or biased boxing talk. What's up, man? I thought the first fight between Shane Mosley and De La Hoya was a lot closer than the second fight. I really thought De La Hoya won the second fight. Now the first fight, you can maybe say that you can have a good case to say Shane Mosley won, but I thought De La Hoya won both of the fights. But that's the only fight that I thought De La Hoya had bad scorecards that he won, and that was like I said, the Pernell Whitaker fight. Some people say the Ike Corte fight, he beat Ike Corte because he ended up knocking Ike Corte down again in the later rounds. They both traded knockdowns. I believe that was the same round. I think they traded knockdowns in the same round, and then because in the first half of the fight, Ike Corte was winning the fight the first half of the fight. And then that second half of the fight, De La Hoya rallied. Plus, he had that big round when he had Ike Corte on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? And he knocked Ike Corte down. And I thought De La Hoya won that fight. I thought he won that fight. I thought it was. I'm not gonna say he didn't win a clear victory, but I'm talking about it was clear that he won the fight. It was still very, very competitive. Very, very competitive. That was a great fight, man. Ike Corte had that bazooka jab. They called him the bazooka man because of his jab. Oh, okay. I know another fight that De La Hoya won that it was iffy, and I even thought he lost. Was a Felix Stern fight. That's why Canelo won fair, man. Canelo won fair. Is that what you're saying? Canelo won fair, but yeah, the Phoenix Stern fight. I thought De La Hoya lost that fight, and that was right before the Bernard Hopkins fight, and boxing was not going to let Phoenix Stern upset that Bernard Hopkins fight. But I mean, no, 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 no. Did you think Canelo won? No, no, no. I don't think Canelo won versus GGG. I thought it was a great fight. Look, if you gave it to Canelo, I'm not gonna argue with you. It was close enough that you can give it to either fighter. You can give it to. I just thought Triple G won the fight. I just thought he won the fight. I thought he won the fight. Now Canelo, because Canelo didn't bag up, Canelo did fight in a posture of, you know what I'm saying, not giving up ground. And I understand what Abel and Triple G plan was. The plan was to make Canelo the lead puncher instead of letting Canelo sit back and counterpunch. They were trying to get Canelo to take the lead. That's why they came out with that jab the way they came out with that jab. But what Abel Sanchez and Triple G has to understand is Triple G cannot fight on his back foot like that for multiple rounds. Even though I thought Triple G was fighting, I know people, because I don't know, people used to say this about Triple G all the time, that he was one dimensional. All he can do is go forward. Triple G showed you that he can box. So, I mean, I already knew Triple G can box because I seen him box. I seen him box against David Lemieux when he broke David Lemieux down with that jab. I seen him do that against David Lemieux. So I knew he can box, but Abel Sanchez even said they lost though. I mean, I don't know if Abel Sanchez said that they lost. I'll have to see the video that he said that they lost. I mean, he said it was. I know I seen the video when he said it was a close competitive fight. You know, I heard him say that. I heard him say that Canelo won the fight, so they have to respect that Canelo won, and they have to give Canelo respect. I don't think he said he thought Triple G lost. He said that Canelo won the fight, which inclined that he's saying the judges gave it to Canelo, and we're gonna respect that. Because Abel Sanchez also said that we chose the judges this time, and I'm not going to complain about the judges. The judges saw it in Canelo's favor, and we have to respect that. I don't think he said that Triple G lost. He said Triple G didn't follow the game. I don't. He said Triple G didn't follow the game plan. I know that he wanted Triple G to. I know I think in what round 5 or 6, he was trying to tell Triple G to do something. He was trying to tell Triple G to throw combinations. Yeah, YouTube it. Oh, okay. He said that Triple G didn't follow the game. I mean, are you talking about through the duration of the fight? He didn't follow the game plan. What was the game plan? Did he say what the game plan was? Because I remember Abel Sanchez kept on telling him to use the jab, so I don't know if they asked him what happened. Why did you think Triple G lost? Abel Sanchez threw Triple G under the bus. Okay, I'll go find it. And Abel said he didn't follow my game plan. Okay. Let me. Abel Sanchez. He's done a lot of interviews. As the fight, go and as they do interviews, and they will reflect on the fight, and they will say different things in different interviews. Let me see. This is an interview with Fight Hype. It says, oh, okay, here you go right here. Let me see. It says, wow, Abel Sanchez revealed Golovkin didn't follow the game plan, explain what he wanted him to do. Let me see. He's speaking in Spanish right now. This is from Fight Hype, y'all. Well, let me hear it in English, man.
said for him it was never personal, it was always business. And he's just happy that the fight itself was a great fight and that the fans came out winning. And for him, he had nothing to get to the corner, that's all he was having.
A ver, ¿qué tan doloroso es que se pierda por un round?
No es nada doloroso. Nosotros tenemos la misma chance de ganar o perder. El doceavo era el round que decidió la pelea. Decepcionado que perdimos, obviamente, pero de no ser uno hipócrita, de tratar de decir que nos robaron, porque la pelea, la diferencia de la pelea fue un round.
Vimos a un Gennady Golovkin que desde donde estábamos, y si está en la esquina, evidentemente.
I'm gonna finish listening to it, but yeah, I guess, I don't know what I don't. Maybe he wanted him to come. I thought Triple G should have started going forward around about 5 or 6. I was like, man, it's time. Triple G, it's time for you to start going forward because you can't. No, you can't be. You cannot get the decision versus Canelo fighting like that. And they both was landing hard shots. I thought they both was landing hard shots. I thought Canelo was landing some tremendous body shots. I'm surprised that Triple G at 36 years old was able to still have the energy in the later rounds after taking all those body shots because Canelo was landing some vicious body shots. And but I also thought this too. If you want to look at both of the fighters and say, I thought Triple G hurt Canelo at least 2 or 3 times in that fight. When he caught him with the right hand, about 2 or 3 times, separately 2 or 3 times in that fight, I thought he hurt. Canelo. Canelo showed a really good chin though. Canelo showed a good chin. They both showed good chins, but you know what I'm saying. I knew Golovkin had a good chin, but Canelo showed a really good chin, man. I get Canelo a lot of respect, man. The way the man fought because he fought the fight that Triple G should have knocked him out in. Triple G should have knocked him out. I mean, I'm not saying you have to knock everybody out to win a fight. I'm not going to say a fighter has to knock everybody out to win the fight, but in that moment, at all the knockouts you had, that was the knockout you needed. You needed to knock Triple G out. Canelo out. You needed to knock Canelo out in the first fight. I understand Canelo was moving. You got to cut off the ring and knock him out. I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to get me something to eat, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with another one.